We had two major things to talk about today, which is Meta laying off 13% of their staff, Twitter having an exodus / layoff / well, basically he forced them out. And we'll talk a little bit about that, and then if we get a little time before we hit the 45-minute mark, we will hit the Black Friday tech scene and how does look in Trinidad, and who going price smart and run for a car to get a flat screen TV. I was sorry to tell you about that, but we will talk about that when we reach there.
Alright.
No, not me at all. I will tell you when we reach that part. Alright, so let's jump into story number 1, which is Meta laying off more than 11,000 employees. So Meta layoff, right? So Mark Zuckerberg, probably like on November 9th, 10th, 8th, somewhere around there, he had to tell them this, right? So I'm going to play the video and we'll just kind of take it in and hear what he had to say.
I'm responsible for the health of our company, for our direction, and for deciding how we execute that, including things like this. And this was ultimately my call, and it was one of the hardest calls that I've had to make in the 18 years of running the company. And a lot of why it's hard is, obviously it has a big impact on your lives, but also for our mission, we're losing people who you've really put your heart and soul into this place, and each of you is talented and passionate, and each of you has played a role in making Meta the success that it is. And no matter what team you may have worked on, each of you played a role in contributing to the products that billions of people use to connect every day.
All right, thanks, Mark. No. Well. 13% of staff. That's 11,000 employees. 11 out of the... How much they had by?
I must say, Mark looks like he showed a little bit of emotion. He looked
That really good to one.
Yeah, he looked like he showed a little bit of emotion. He tried. It looked like it almost popped on the head where he was trying. What I want to touch on this whole thing with Facebook laying off and Twitter and probably some other companies as well. Within the past 2 years or so, we had during the pandemic, we had this whole boom, this whole tech industry booming everywhere. Look online on Twitter.
Yeah.
Not Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, you're seeing people, join a career in tech, you'll make 200K, you'll make this amount of money. Join this bootcamp, become a coder. It had this big boom, and for me, this is probably all about that boom, that bubble that's going and get popped, because at the end of the day, the pandemic ends. People not home anymore to be so reliant on technology, and these companies losing money, so they need a way to scale back.
That's exactly what he said. He said, today I'm sharing some of the most significant changes we've made in Meta's history. So I'll make sure people could see who we're watching right here. I've decided to reduce the size of our team by about 18% and let more than 11,000 of our talented employees go. We're also taking a number of additional steps to become leaner and more efficient by cutting discretionary spending. I want to take accountability for these decisions before we got here. I know it's tough. So here's what he said, right? At the start of COVID, the world rapidly moved online, and the surge of e-commerce led to outsized revenue growth. Many people predicted this would be a permanent acceleration that would continue even after the pandemic ended. I did so too. So I made the decision to significantly increase our investments. Unfortunately, this did not play out the way I expected. Not only has online commerce returned to prior trends, but the macroeconomic downturn is in increased competition, and ad signal loss have caused our revenue to be much lower than I expected. I got this wrong, and I take responsibility for that. Now, him taking responsibility for it as a CEO, I get that. I appreciate that a lot. That's the biggest part. Aside from the fact that he shows some emotion in the video, right? But him taking responsibility for it and saying he made a call and the call was wrong. I could see it. Just that everybody knew that this ought to happen, boy. Like, I don't know who thought that post-pandemic technology would stay the same way as pandemic times. That was basically like dumb.
I mean, I think like during the pandemic, if you probably ask someone who going through the pandemic and you're within that bubble, you're within that lockdown, there was pushing this narrative that there's going to be the new norm, and going to be the new norm, and even after the pandemic, things will kind of stay the same, and so I guess it didn't just get through to us, but to these people as well. They probably thought, okay, the growth will. And again, we have this massive influx of inflation across the world, so that have a big impact on it.
But even Zoom was like, yeah, we know this is not gonna last forever, so we're not going to like bet or like everything on it. We'll introduce some things, but yeah.
And I just wonder if it had anything to do with the amount of the billions of dollars you invest in the metaverse that turn out to be
smoke where vapor.
Yeah, because he had this launch, he came and showed people the avatars, and people was like, oh, this looking like Nintendo Wii. So they spent all this money and it's looking like, and I think he went back, spend more money to improve the graphics.
Yeah.
Because you got all this metaverse and people walking around with stuff that look like it.
I don't know if like he thought, all right, everybody is forced to be online all the time, so let's create a place for them to be comfortable online, and hopefully that will transition or that will flow over. But yeah, he get it wrong, and this is the result. So what's your severance package, right? I mean, it's not bad. 16 weeks pay of base pay plus 2 additional weeks for every year of service with no cap. So yeah, that's 4 months of pay basically, and so you say you work at 5 years, you should be able to have 6 months of pay inside, right? You'll pay for all remaining time. That's vacation time basically. I don't know what RSU vesting is. I don't know what vesting. I know
that immigration support point look interesting.
Health insurance still there, career services, immigration support. If you're here on a visa, there's a notice period for termination and some visa grace periods, which means everyone will have time to make plans and work through their immigration status. We have dedicated immigration specialists that'll help you, guide you through.
Yeah,
you're going to get deported, dog. You're going, wow.
Not deported.
All right.
You just need to go back.
You have a certain amount of time to leave before you are deported,
unless you get some other opportunity. But I think the metaverse, the concept, has a place, but I think it's probably ahead of its time. We're probably not ready for it right now. Like the next generation, they might be ready to embrace something like that. And I mean, if we continue that long, that whole pandemic lockdown being inside here, that might have been. But the fact that we return into work, a lot of people return into the office, the metaverse kind of lose its, even while we were in the pandemic, the fact that it was Facebook, leading the charge for metaverse, and with their reputation, people were wary of it.